Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. We are here. We made it, even though the kids are home because of Parent Teacher Conference Week. They are engaged with their new books from the book fair, and I think Boston's going to play a little, what's it called, 2K something or other, not baseball, basketball on the PlayStation. So they're taken care of. They're having fun, and now we can have some fun as well. So hello, everybody. We've got Vicky in the house. We've got Cheyenne in the house. Michelle De Leon, welcome, welcome. Rosie, aka Mona, is here. Jessica Lynn, yay! And today we are going to be doing a free one card pull for about the first 20 minutes. And I usually ramble for, a while during the first 20 minutes. So it's usually from the time we start till, either we run out of people or 20 minutes after we kind of start those one card pulls. Hey, Brandy Lynn, welcome. We got the Lynn squad, at least part of the Lynn squad here. Brandy Lynn, Jessica Lynn, Michelle Lynn, are you out there somewhere? We even used to have a Jamie Lynn, but I haven't seen her in quite a while. But yeah, hope you're all having some Good Friday vibes. Not like Good Friday, like right before Easter, but like it's a chill Friday. You're having a good day. Hey, John, welcome. Yeah, we are gonna do some readings. We also have our giveaway planned and our perpetual drawing, which I think, yeah, the giveaway is fun and everything, but I have just so much fun with this drawing. I don't know what it is. Anyone else? Because obviously with the drawing or the giveaway, you don't know who's going to win either. But I don't know. It's just so exciting. I don't know. Is it just me? Raffles and drawings, and I don't know. Always so much fun. And it's so weird because as a child, like we'd have to sell raffle tickets for choir or baseball or this or that activity, and so often I won something. I don't know what it was about when I was a child, but I wish I could bring a little bit of that luck into my adult life. But I'm wondering if it wasn't because I was in Jupiter Mahadasha when I was a child. It's a like Jaimini/Vedic astrology thing. So if you don't know what a Mahadasha is, don't worry about it. It's basically taking the moon nakshatra at the time you were born, and that kind of kicks off your dasha cycle. So if you are born in Purnavasu nakshatra moon, like I am, you would start in the time of Jupiter, and just depending on where that cycle is, you may have the full time of Jupiter or just part of it. I think that ended around the time I was 10 years old for me. And then Saturn. Saturn was like how many years is Saturn? I can't remember how many years Saturn Dasha is, but I just went boom right into my Saturn Dasha, which Saturn Dasha is a very difficult Dasha. So always fun to have that going on during your childhood. But then let's see, when was it? Oh, February of 2010, I went into Mercury Mahadasha. And I know for a fact that Dasha lasts you 17 years. So February of 2027, I will then kick out of Mercury Mahadasha and into K2 Mahadasha, which K2 would be another really difficult one to have during childhood. Unless you were like a really awakened child, then it would probably be not so bad. But K2 deals with a lot of losses, which my sister, fun fact, or maybe not so fun fact, was actually in her K2 or South Node Mahadasha when our house burned down when I was 13 and she was 11. So yeah, K2 Mahadasha, I'm actually both terrified and also looking forward to it because there's some really good spiritual elevation and progression you can make in your life during that Mahadasha. But at the same time, there can be a lot of losses that will then awaken you further. So I guess time will tell what kind of losses we're going to endure on my end over here. Yeah. So oh man, I cannot even remember back when I very first learned there was this free website, and you could run your own chart and everything. I don't know off the top of my head if I know Joni Petrie. I think she's galacticcenter.org, galacticcenter.org. Joni Petrie has a free Vedic chart calculator. And in Vedic astrology, you want to look at your ascendant sign and your moon sign. Those are the two most important signs as far as your personality, not only what's happening around you, but how you interpret or react, respond to what's going to happen. And your sun sign can be kind of a secondary thing to look into, but per Vedic astrology, it's kind of the fact that a lot of us, yeah, we can resonate with our sun sign, but it's usually more, it's funny, it's like two sides of the same coin. The sun is very representative in Vedic astrology anyway. I don't know about Western astrology, but very indicative of your ego. But on this, flip side of that coin, it also is your soul, not spirit, but soul. But ego and soul are both matrix constructs. So to me personally, yeah, I do vibe with this or that about my sun sign, but the end all be all of my personality or how I interpret the world around me, how I respond to what happens, that more for most people anyway, following Vedic astrology or sidereal astrology, I should say, really, really more resonate with their ascendant sign and their moon sign. But I do have Parashara's Light. I can never say that right. Parashara's Light software that my husband bought me for Christmas. Oh man, I guess it was Christmas of 2016. So I've had that a long time, and the version I have is outdated. It doesn't even calculate the Brigu Bindu point, but I've done my own calculation, and it makes sense where my Brigu Bindu point is. It's that point between your Rahu and your moon. Well, yeah, your Rahu and your moon. You split the difference halfway point between them, and since mine are in the same house, Rahu then moon, it's literally right between them. And they're very already in a loose conjunction of about 4 degrees themselves. So split the difference of about 2 point whatever degrees, and you've got that Brigu Bindu point. And Brigu Bindu, if those of you like, wow, she is speaking in riddles over here, foreign language, I don't understand. Brigu Bindu is like your destiny point. It is the thing that you are promised to accomplish or your destiny in this life. Though that being said, there is such a thing called destiny theft. If there's enough entity interference and matrix hijacking going on in your life, you may actually be, that destiny may be stolen from you, which is crazy. And mine is actually in the 9th house in Gemini, which the 9th house is having to do with long distance travels, publishing, and Gemini is about communications and working with your hands. And so much of what I do is communication and, publishing, all the publishing and working with my hands for the Pick a Card channel. And that was completely hijacked and taken away from me. So that's why I've chosen personally to self-publish my books. I just know per my destiny, that's going to be my best bet. So it either A, doesn't get purchased to be buried or shadow banned in its own weird way in the publishing world. I'm sure certain algorithms, like if my book is on Amazon books, series, whatever I choose to publish word and book wise, I'm sure they can still work behind the scenes with algorithms and what have you. But I know personally it's my destiny to publish this series and possibly beyond this series. I have a lot of other book ideas and companion novels and offshoots of this kind of reality or universe I'm building for my book universe. So yeah, I know that's part of my destiny. Will it be stolen from me? I guess time will tell. I hope not. Let me plug in my laptop. Actually, right before the live stream, I was working on my book 2, and I'm in the scene where my main character has to kind of break and enter into this place where there's a party going on. And the person whose house it is, she doesn't want to be anywhere near this person, but she has to because one of her ghosty pals is like, well, you got to go in there because there's something in there you need to see and you need to take it. You can't just go see it. You got to take it. So she's kind of in breaking and entering and theft territory, but the thing she steals technically is hers. So is it really theft? And is it really breaking and entering if there's a party going on? These are lines we've got to cross, right? But it's a very exciting scene. So I'm all amped up, was on the edge of my own seat, rereading, because I had written this scene back in NaNoWriMo 2019. So I was rereading it, and of course, adding some nuance and some more emotion and just kind of tension, just adding a little bit here and there, taking away a sentence that feels a little too long, or kind of getting more to the point. Since it is more of a tension-laden scene, you don't want to have these long, drawn-out paragraphs and sentences. You want to quick, get going, build the tension, and go. So I'm all over the place right now, you guys. My apologies. Yay! Hello. So Pika is here. Hello, hello, hello. And she's watching while she's working. Yeah, Brandy Lynn's like, oh. All right, you guys, let's figure out what deck we are going to be doing our one card pull from. I'm wondering. Ooh, story cards are calling my name, so that's the direction we're gonna go. And we have 8 people and 7 likes on the video. Let's put an 888 in the chat if you are looking for a free one card pull to get us started today. And thus far, we don't have any donations, so this might be a decently quick live stream today. I don't know. Just looking back on personal history of live stream, I don't think we've ever had a live stream where we didn't have anyone donate. There was one, if I remember correctly, one live stream where we only had one donation, and that was like a couple years back. So even when we start the live stream with no donations, or we're 10 minutes in, no donations yet, it doesn't mean that it probably will remain that way. But who knows? Who knows? All right, so let's get everybody that wants one a card. The first 888 I see is Cheyenne. And please remember, if it appears that I have skipped you or that I didn't see your 888, just hold off till I do yet another little roll call, because I sometimes see it on the back end just slightly different. And yeah, Cheyenne. I'm not even drawing from this deck, but this card, Mercury, no, ooh, Lilith. And very funny, I wanted to call it Mercury. Mercury normally has the full circle and the 2 little horns with the positive sign here. It's just kind of glanced at it and thought it was Mercury, but no, it's Lilith. So wild femininity, and this is really the shadow side of femininity. Just kind of according to like the world we live in right now, it's more the shadow side of femininity. But the shadow doesn't mean that it's wrong or evil or dark or bad. But this really is about Cheyenne tuning into your femininity. But let's get on to the card we're trying to draw for Cheyenne. And we have here Thinker. So you're doing a lot of thinking. There's where that Mercury came in. Mercury is your intellect and, just brainstorming, processing information, writing, communication, all that fun stuff. So yeah, you might be thinking about ways to do some self-care in the femininity department, and maybe even ways to really integrate this feminine shadow in your life. Very cool. All right, let me move that and put this one away and get to, now we have an itchy nose. So that always means good luck, you guys. So we're going into Rosie, aka Mona's question or reading. So there's some good luck coming your way for sure, Rosie. So let's see. And we also have here called. You're being called. And I really see this as your own masculine and your own feminine side. And it's like your masculine is leading the feminine. There's a lot of that masculine feminine dynamic going on already in the first 2 readings here that we've done. But I think it's very interesting. And I just heard the fabric of reality maybe shifting for you as well. So whatever that literally or actually means, I'm not sure. You might want to leave that open for your own, journaling or interpretation. But what I see here is maybe just going a direction that maybe feels a little intimidating, but is actually going to benefit your highest good moving forward. So go in the direction you're being called, even if you feel it's something frivolous or, oh, that feels like a waste of time. Especially if this thing feels exciting and fun and joyful, go in that direction. All right, Michelle Lynn. Yeah, we got most, if not all of our Lynn squad here today. Yay. Michelle Lynn, let's get you a card, my dear. And we have here Solitude. And we've got a tent here. So this really is about spending time, like very staycation vibes. I know we've tuned in a few times for you, Michelle, over the years here. About going on some sort of staycation or little solitary retreat for yourself that's going to really benefit you moving forward. So this could just even look like the weekend. You're just kind of making it a chill, self-care, relaxing weekend. And every time I say the word self-care, I think of this book, which I just absolutely love. And I'm going to do a bit of self-care divination for you specifically, Michelle Lynn, just because you got such a self-care kind of message here. Let's see if what you need to know about self-care for yourself. We have here the cycle of introspection and connection. Introspection, solitude is the best way to get into that solitude. Did I say solitude is the best way to get into that solitude? I meant solitude is the best way to get into that introspective state. But it says here, balance can be a difficult thing to identify when it comes to how you spend your time, but the concept of introspection and connection can help keep you balanced. So let's see. Plato said the unexamined life is not worth living. His statement reveals that the importance of introspection reveals the importance of introspection. If you don't examine your life, your motivations, purposes, drives, and passions, then are you truly living your life? And are you doing something worthwhile? And it goes on and on and on. But maybe just thinking, why am I wanting this? Or why am I doing that? Sometimes just kind of touching home base with ourselves about what we're doing, what we plan to do, can really put things in perspective and really help us on our journey ahead. So I'm going to actually put that back just for now. Okay. So hope that helped. We went a little in depth there, but okay, I think we needed it from Michelle Lynn. All right, Brandy Lynn. Let's get Brandy Lynn a card. I swear over time, my readings just get longer and longer and longer. We have gratitude for Brandy Lynn. This kind of goes without saying, but the more we are grateful for the things we already have, it's like the universe is like, oh, goody. And then they send us even more things to be grateful for. And I get such a vibe of this. November is for both, I think Canadians, what do you call it? Thanksgiving is in October. But November for a lot of us in the US is a very, gratitude heavy month. So, just kind of leaning into the energy of gratitude this month and week and today. And this weekend could really benefit you, Brandy Lynn. All right, Vicky Downey. Let's get Vicky a card. Ooh, it's this one. And we have here Mystic, and she is hiding out, or he is hiding out in his magic tree house. Very cool. I want to say I've gotten this card for either you or Cheyenne before. It feels very recent that we've gotten this card, but this is feeling to me like just tuning in to your intuition and utilizing whatever it is you're uncovering in your meditation or your intuition to better your life or forward your life, especially at night going outside. And I think that's where the message is coming in, is just looking up at the stars and wishing upon a star. If you happen to see a star that's really catching your eye, or you do see a shooting star, which is very lucky, just what's the word? Involve that inner child and feel that excitement of seeing the shooting star or just gazing up at the night sky. If that's something you can't really do very easily from your, say, backyard or something because you live in the city and there's a lot of light pollution or something, even just taking a drive out far enough that you can see a nice patch of the sky could really benefit. Very therapeutic feeling, yeah. All right, Jessica Lynn. Get Jessica Lynn a card. And scroll up. Oh, we have jumped chat. Let me go back. Okay, there we are. Jessica Lynn. Hello, Sandy. I see Sandy has donated as well. She's going to kick us off the first donation of the day. Jessica Lynn. And we have here the thinker card as well. So there might be something you are, I gotta sneeze. I hate that. It's like, you just take a second. There we go. I learned a trick. If you ever have to sneeze and you don't want to because of, you're in a place where it's very quiet, or you don't want people to think you're going to give them COVID or something, a hot tip is to touch the tip of your tongue to the back of your front teeth on the roof of your mouth and press as hard as you can, and that'll help the sneeze go away. See? Gone. It still got that sinus reaction, but at least I didn't go achoo all over you. But yes, thinker. Maybe you are debating something or thinking of doing something, but this is not just surface level thinking, what should I have for dinner? This is going deep. This is really opening your mind. Literally, look at this. Opening your mind, expanding your horizons with whatever it is that you are, debating or thinking about doing. This is really good. I would say the next 3 to 4 days is really prime time for journaling or just really having some really good ideas come to you, because you're more open to these really good ideas. That was for Jessica Lynn. All right, let's get just Sandy's message. Just Sandy. And we have here solitude as well. So this just might be a theme, is this kind of more introspective kind of solitude energy this weekend. Doesn't mean you can't go out if you do have plans and stuff, but maybe balance that out by a bit of introspection, solitude. Specifically for Sandy, if you're somebody, Sandy, who doesn't get out much anyway, there's still a quality to the solitude, because a lot of times we can be alone with ourselves, but we're not really checking in with ourselves. We're just, working, or we are cleaning or cooking or, doing things. But what I see with this is just getting a little deeper under the surface of, kind of these existential type questions that seem to be very prevalent right now in at least the collective that's coming to this live stream for the weekend. Just deeper introspective vibes going on here. And I'm really getting a hint of like self-care as well for this. So let's draw you. Let's flip to a page for Sandy for a self-care message for the weekend. Ooh, physical self-care. So your body is precious. It is our vehicle for awakening. Treat it with care. And I'm going to turn the page and get some movement. And we do have water here. I know probably where you live, it's not the warmest right now, and definitely probably not quite swimming weather or anything, but even if you could go for a walk around the block or drive to a really nice local park, again, even if it's not as pretty as it would be maybe in the summer, just getting out and, walking for even 10 minutes can really put things in perspective. Specifically where there's a lot of trees. I'm seeing a lot of trees here. Okay, that one back. If solitude comes out again, I'll just keep getting also a self-care message for anyone else who gets the solitude card. They seem linked today, so yeah. All right, Linda H. Let's get Linda a card. All right, Linda, we have called as well. So you might be having some sort of date night or connection with your husband if that feels like something fun. But even just doing something, like if you do kind of get a whim or an idea, go with it. Kind of go in a direction that might feel foreign or just slightly out of the comfort zone or different than you normally do. You're being called to open up, expand those horizons just a bit this weekend. All right, John, let's get John a card. And we have here gratitude as well. A lot of these same cards keep coming out. I love it. I love when that happens. It just lets me know that we are so interconnected, and so many of these messages could probably resonate with each person. But this really is about, again, finding those things to be grateful for, even writing them down, because from day to day, especially if we're having a really tough day or a rough day, or even like a rough kind of season of life, just having a list that we can look to or check kind of in on once in a while, like, oh yeah, I do have it good. I have, this really amazing relationship or friendship or family member. I have a roof over my head. I've got food in my belly, even if we have to get as basic as that. But then you can expand it to, your favorite TV show or, a pet if you have one. Just being grateful for the things that really enhance our lives. And that's kind of what you're being called to do kind of in the next few days, John. But you're also, by doing so, going to bring in things that are going to make you feel even more grateful. All right, Michelle De Leon. Let's get Michelle a card. Michelle. This one right here. All right. Ooh, we have her Serenity, which is still a very calm, cool, and collected kind of energy. I see, like, this is, to me, feels like, when the wave kind of like low tide. That's what I'm trying to say. And I know you live decently close to where you can get to the ocean, especially on low tide, if you can do that. Maybe even watching a sunrise or sunset. I don't know if you have some sort of date planned or something that might be really fun. But it's calm. It's not something really fun and upbeat and exciting. I mean, it can still be fun and serene as well, but it's just about the calming vibes and really utilizing your senses. And just if you can't get to somewhere like this physically, it's just about evoking that energy of serenity. And because I'm getting a bit of a self-care vibe from that card as well, let's pull Michelle De Leon a self-care message here. We have your beauty ritual. So it says a ritual is something that has a prescribed order and can be replicated, and it often has a soothing or serene, let's see, I just missed my spot. Soothing and empowering effect. You can create many different self-care rituals, with the beauty ritual being one of the easier to start with because it provides immediate visible benefits and only a bit of planning. So any part of your beauty routine that you've slacked on or lacked in lately, getting your hair did, your nails did, even if you're doing these things at home yourself, you don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money if that's not something you want to do. But sometimes just helping ourselves feel and look better on the outside can help us also feel and look better on the inside as well. So fun little extra message for Michelle De Leon. All right, Marlene. Let's get Marlene's card. Hello, Amber. Hello. Yes, Diwali is here. That is true. And it's interesting. I kind of skipped over Diwali in my book. We're now at the weekend of November 12th. And in 1994, I think Diwali kicked off on November 2nd or 3rd, somewhere in there, and then went the 4 days, or however, if I'm correct, I think it lasts 4 days. I may be wrong on that. So we just hit Diwali in my book as well. Very fun. Anyway, let's get Marlena card. And we're gonna go with this one. Trust. I love this. And again, we have a couple depicted. I'm more seeing this though as your own inner divine masculine and divine feminine, and they are looking out at the stars, wishing upon a star, or just getting into this energy of trust. And it says trust up here, but then it also has trust kind of written out, almost like when you would cut and letters and numbers out of a magazine for like a ransom note or something. Is kind of what this reminds me of. It's about like searching out each of these letters to be able to spell the word trust. So there might be things you're seeking out either inside of you or outside of you that you're kind of bringing together to form something. In this example, it would be like a word. But for you, this might be, gathering together ingredients, gathering together pieces and parts to, work on a project, or, just trying to gather the family. This month is, about gratitude and coming together with those we love, at certain holidays and stuff. So there might be a bit of reaching out here and there to kind of bring some group of people together. Could even be your own little close-knit family, but just making sure you are, and I think this kind of builds on a previous message we got for you, is, really like making even just the more mundane, moments of life magical. And we don't have to go like so above and beyond to do it, but this is about trusting that you're doing enough, you are enough, you're on the right path, and all that as well. All right, let's get Amber a card. Amber. All right. And my chat just jumped, so I'm going to go back up. Amber, there we are. All right, Amber. And Earthy David has also donated. Awesome. We're going to update the list here very shortly. All right, Amber, we have the Explorer card for you. And she looks like she is ready for all sorts of different things, or trying on different hats is what I'm hearing. Trying new things, exploring new places. And I think this makes a lot of sense with you having this recent move, and you're in a different part of town, and just finding the local areas around you that are going to become your like favorite places to go, and, learning and meeting new people. So there's a lot of new energy coming in that's going to feel like a breath of fresh air for you. If it hasn't already, it's going to be very, very soon for you, Amber. So yay, Amber. All right, Earthy Deva, you get two. We have here Cyclist and Love. So I don't know if where you live, it's like bicycle weather at all, or if that's something you want to get into, or if you have your own bicycle. A lot of cities and stuff, you can now like rent bicycles to drive around the city. But there's this the most random message of getting out on your bicycle. If you can't get on a bicycle, just your own 2 feet also could work wonders. But we have Love. So, maybe even going on a bicycle ride with your loved one would be really fun. Maybe even booking some sort of Airbnb or like weekend getaway at some point with your love. That would be a really fun thing to do, especially if it's not in your current city, if you're going somewhere at a distance. Cycling around or walking around to kind of get a taste of this place that you are visiting. Very fun. All right. Pika Lee. Let's get Pika Lee a card. Brandy Lynn says she is grateful for her Coke Zero. Gonna grab one now. Oh my gosh, Coke sounds so good right now. I don't drink a lot of soda, but every once in a while I'll let myself have one. I went I think it was 12. No, maybe not. Maybe 10 years without any soda. And I was totally fine without it. But then the second I had a soda again, it's like that addiction of it came back. And I didn't like go full force into the addiction. Like we don't ever buy soda to have it here at my house or anything. But once in a while when we're out at my in-laws or something, I'll have one. Or with dinner or something. But it does sound good. Okay, back to Pika Lee. Tuning into Pika Lee's energy for her 1-card pull. And we have here Joy. It's very funny. I'm hearing a song from like Bible school days, like Sunday school days, something like "Rise and Shine." You remember that song? I don't know. I don't even remember the rest of it, but that's what I'm hearing. So maybe even starting with "Rise and Shine." This is very like morning time, like sun breaking over the horizon line energy of just trying to establish a really nice morning routine that makes you feel like you're not rushing into your work day, or even if it's your day off, you're not like, awakened by an alarm and then you're just hitting the ground running. This is about kind of easing in with happiness and joy, and giving yourself time in the morning to really reflect on the things that are joyful to you, and even spending time, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes, doing something that brings you joy in the morning before your workday gets started, could really benefit the rest of your day. All right. So let's see. Oh, Vicky's been feeling pressure on her third eye lately. I would say feel into that. Ask what it's trying to tell you. You're so welcome, Brandy Lynn. Absolutely. And you as well, Jessica Lynn. And everybody else who said thank you that I missed. I do apologize for that. Oh, I don't want to leave the site. What are you doing, Google Chrome? No. Okay. Hope we're still here. Okay. Valerie Lyon. All right, we're winding down our free card pull portion, but we have a few donations, and then we also have our giveaway and our perpetual drawing coming up. So don't go away. All right, Valerie Lyon. Let's get Valerie. Ooh, it went jumping. And it's 2 cards. It's 2 cards for you, my dear. We have Rising and Kindred. So it's very interesting with the Rising card here. It's like you're leveling up, you're rising above, and that might reflect in the company you keep very soon. So you might be seeking out or have already found some new, more leveled up, on your level type of individuals to hang out with, to vibe with, to have some sort of common interest with, that you feel you can have a deeper connection than just surface level communication with somebody. If you don't have someone like this in your life, I really do see that very soon here, you're going to have an opportunity to meet somebody like that. That's going to make you feel like you want to be a better version of yourself. Very fun. All right. Amber has a very important question to ask, but busy and running errands. I miss the lives most of the times these days since I moved. I wanted to donate as well, but probably some other time. Yeah, let me know. And if you even want to do the Zoom option or the pre-recorded option that I offer for a 10-minute reading, 20-minute reading, you can always do that. And especially if it is a more personal, I mean, all these readings are personal, obviously, but just something you don't want on the internet, anybody that's listening can always book a session with me that way, either face-to-face on Zoom or just something that I can pre-record at whatever amount of time that you book. That's always an option for any of you out there as well. If you just don't have the time to be on the live stream, or you don't want to ask this specific question on the live stream, feel free to email me, and it's amanda@dunephotodesign.com. Let me put out. And it should be also in my about section on all of my different YouTube channels and all that fun stuff. So yeah, there you have it. Yes, okay. You're so welcome, everybody. Oh, you dyed your hair sunset colors. Are you kidding me, Michelle? I love it. I have to see this. I have to see this. I always love the fun and fresh colors you have in your hair. Specifically that like tealy blue color. I love that. So pretty. Yeah, I wish that this Diwali, the true organic source, showers everyone with abundance, love, health, wealth, prosperity. Oh, it jumped. Will you get back up here? Oh, we are jumping back up. Okay, there we go. And blessings. Yes. Yes, more than that. Oh, okay. Starts from today. That's right. Invite health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, manifesting. So 5th day is brother and sister bond. Oh, how cool. Well, I'm going to have to do even more research into what all Diwali entails, because I want to get it right. Even though we're not having like a full-on Diwali festival in my book. My main character's grandmother is actually from India. And in the second book that I'm currently writing, her grandmother's actually in India helping her sick sister. So they're kind of apart during the holiday. So it just doesn't feel the same for a couple reasons, but specifically because her grandmother is actually in India with her sister during that whole time. And it's set in 1994. So we're talking Diwali 1994. So it's been a hot minute. Much needed. Had 2 major tower moments since last Friday. Oh no, Amber. Okay, everyone, have to go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend as well, Amber. I'd love to cycle, but it's so cold right now. Yeah, obviously a lot of the world is experiencing more of a late autumn, early winter vibe, and little cold for all that fun stuff. Yeah, cute message, and I like that love sprinkle, right? Yes. Hello, Cha Cha. Welcome. All right. Anyone else that I missed or is just joining us, put an 888 in the chat. We'll get you a card, and then we're gonna get onto our portion of donation portion. There we go. I was off of soda until the quarantines happened, and then I craved Diet Dr. Pepper like nothing else, and it was all over for me, right? Oh, those cravings, I swear. Oh, wow, lately been waking up early and starting gratitude journal. Always say I'm grateful for joy. I love that. There you go. There's just your confirmation. You're already on the right track. You're so welcome, Valerie. Absolutely. Oh, that's what you've been working toward. Oh, you're so welcome. Let's see. Vicky, what's the price of your pre-recording? Okay, so the 10-minute is 33. And the only reason it's still about the same amount of time, maybe a little longer of a reading than we normally would do as a 2222 value here on this live stream. But just because I do have to record it, upload it, we just to account for that time, it's a little more than what you would pay just as a regular reading here. But it's about the same, if not a little bit longer of a reading than you would get here on the live stream. So in my opinion, it's pretty worth it. Especially if you have something you don't really want to have blasted all over with everybody listening in. It's a great option for sure. Cha-Cha says she has donated. Awesome. Awesome. No, I'm not done. I'm just almost finished with the free portion of the live stream before then diving into the bulk of our donations. And then, of course, we'll also be doing our giveaway and our perpetual drawing. All right. Junking data girl. All right. So, Sunsis, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is going to be our last 888, and then we're going to dive into the donations. But let's get Junking Data Girl's card. And here it is. We have Queen. So I just heard Queen for a day. So if this is you just dressing up, even if you don't really have anywhere to go, even if you just have maybe some errands to run, or I don't know, a Zoom call, or getting together with friends, or whatever it is, just going a little above and beyond with your, whatever appearance, out wearing a new outfit if you have one, doing your hair a little more fancy than you normally would, just to help yourself feel really good. Because a lot of times, it's not all about how we look and all that on the outside, but think of it this way as, me personally, like working from home day after day after day. If I didn't have to get in my car, take the kids to and from school, go to all their different sports and activities, I would probably just live in my pajamas, never do my makeup. But because, I have a live stream twice a week, I have to be out and about here and there for the kids. It kind of does give me that little bit of incentive to, look like I didn't just crawl out of a dumpster. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, especially if you've been kind of like, it's kind of like stagnancy in the energy. Not to say that wearing sweatpants or, comfy clothes is stagnancy. No, but when we do the same thing kind of day after day after day, it can feel a bit stagnant, and it's kind of what I'm seeing. So it's just about treating yourself, and maybe there is like a purchase or something you've been wanting or saving for. It might very soon be time to be able to purchase this for yourself. So I don't know if you have a birthday or a anniversary, or even if this is just like Christmas coming up and you want to treat yourself, give yourself the green light. There we go. All right. So, yes. Whoa. There we go. So, I hope that resonated for everybody. Oh, December 30th. There you go. It is still coming up. I love it. You're so welcome. Very fun. Very fun. So, let's get into the list. I'm gonna update the list. So, I'm pretty sure just Sandy donated first and foremost. Let's just make sure here. I'm going to get everybody on the list that has already donated. So we have Sandy for full read. We have Anna, aka Earthy Deva, for full read, and Cha-Cha, aka the Junking Data Girl, for a full read. 3 full reads to get us started today. So let's get Earthy Deva and Cha-Cha on the list here. The Junking Data Girl. Boom. There we have it. So anyone else looking to get their question answered, feel free to to donate, and we will jump into that for you. And of course, all your donations do go to help my mom, whose house burned down in July of 2019. She's finally out of the camper into a double wide situation. It used to be my grandmother's house, but it needs a new roof. It needs all sorts of like updates. It's not in the best shape, and it's not the ideal solution long term, but it's much better than where she was in the camper. So, we gotta walk before we run. Is kind of what we're considering this whole thing. So thank you, all of you who are donating week after week and all of that to help us make this dream a reality. Thank you so much. Today, in lieu of the group reading, we just did individual one card pulls for everybody. So yeah, Valerie, that's what we did today. But if you do want to get in the energy of a group reading or collective reading, we did one on the last live stream. That energy's still hot and happening. So if you want to check that out, you can go click onto that and then come join us later, because we're still doing the giveaway and the drawing. So don't miss out on that here in a little while. All right. You're so welcome. Absolutely. So let's get into this for Sandy. Just Sandy. All right. She says gift, but I want to do something. What is going on with her? Depressed, can't focus, anxious, don't like how I feel. I think that's what that says. There's a heart in the way of how I feel. Yeah. Okay. So let's tune in. Let's tune in for Sandy, her lovely energy, see what's going on here. Oh yeah, it is a bit chaotic, and I can totally see that already. Up and down, just not really sure where to put the focus. That is very very much a part of what's going on with this Two of Pentacles. But then we add the devil into it, just in your head. Even though you can't seem to focus, it's like your mind or your thought process has been like hijacked almost. Maybe not literally, but slightly. This happens to all of us, so don't freak out, Sandy. But a lot of times when we can't focus, when we are feeling anxious, depressed, just really not feeling it, it's almost like we feel like a stranger in our own body. A lot of times that means there could be some entity interference going on in your aura, in your mind, attachments, cords, stuff from the past that's just coming up to be released. There's a lot, and it's interesting because my cousin, I won't say which one, I got lots of those, a cousin of mine actually texted me the other day, and they said, I won't read the whole thing, but I'll just let you know what they said as far as just the feeling. So yeah, let's see. I've been feeling really off, like my aura feels really dark. I don't know if I have entities attached to my body or in my body trying to push me out. I really don't know how to accurately test or to treat it. Love you. And I love them as well. But this is the advice that I sent my cousin. So I said, skipping over the personal stuff. Okay. I feel like that too from time to time. An effective way is to lay down in the dark with calm music and do a body scan. So use your intuition to see any entities, hooks, attachments, or cords that may be causing that feeling. And it takes a lot of trust in yourself to do this, because it really does feel like you're playing pretend or it's make believe. Like, is that really there, or am I just making this up? But trust what comes up, and use that energy of your own spirit for clearing and healing and removing any of those attachments or hooks or cords. And that'll help heal and get anything that's out of alignment. It will help put it back in alignment. And even asking for more of your spirit to come into your body, Sandy, can really help and assist you with this process. And I know it feels very woo-woo, very out there. And it might, but just laying down, doing this exercise, kind of taking about 15, 20 minutes if you can. But if you can only handle just kind of trying to figure it out for 5 minutes or so, whatever you can do should be able to help, because that is basically just affirming there's something here that you personally can clear, because technically there should be no interference, but because we live in this fallen world, this 3D matrix, there's hijacking and interference galore at every turn, everywhere, for everyone. But when you call on your true essence, your true spirit to come more in your body, and even using that energy source as your healing light, there's a lot you can do for yourself. Yeah. Yeah, and I love this. I love this so much because you have the other side of the coin of the devil card. It's the lovers. Because in the traditional Rider-Waite depiction, they look almost like the same card, but like one is the dark, one is the light. And so I love that you can make the choice to better this without feeling like you have to have some healer come in and do this for you, or that you're doing something wrong. No. And we have the Seven of Cups here, which I always say at the underlying energy of the Seven of Cups, it's a message of hope. It lets you know that help is available, that hope is available, and there's not any one way to make this shift for yourself, to shift, to get that focus back, to clear that depression, to clear that anxiety. And a lot of times they say depression is having a lot of the past come up and feeling inadequate or sad or wished you could have done something differently. And then of course anxiety or stress is usually borrowing trouble from the future. You're stressed out or anxious that this won't go correctly, or you won't have the money to pay for this, or just any other number of things that we can borrow trouble or stress. Did I say trouble? I meant trouble. Trouble or stress from the future that we don't even need to go down that road. Yes, it's still imperative, I think, for most of us to be able to plan for the future and to look to the future from time to time. But when we put too much of our focus on the past, on the future, it can really make us feel very disempowered in the present moment. And that is the now moment is the only moment we have any source of power ever. Think of all those past moments when you made something happen and you were proud of yourself. You were in your present moment and you were very much in your body and making things happen. And, a lot of times that's why the future can feel so uncertain, or like it's going to crumble underneath your feet, is because you don't have a solid footing in that now moment yet. But in the future, every future moment is going to be an eventual now moment. So your best bet would be to plan for a future, examine and heal past anything from your past that is coming up. There might be some big decisions you're making, but there's a lot of choices or a lot of directions you can go that it might further complicate or confuse or make you feel unfocused or even more anxious, because there's so many potentials or possibilities. So let's see if we can narrow those potentials and possibilities down for Sandy and see if we can get her a clear path forward out of this feeling, besides the exercise we've already tuned into for her. Well, something fell off the deck here that I'm not even shuffling, and it's the Four of Swords, which is a card of healing, taking a bit of a rest, a time out, turning off social media for a while and just going within and really examining, what is it I'm here to do? What do I want in life? And sometimes that type of introspection can bring up even more anxiety, depression, stress, unfocused thinking. But yet at the same time, sometimes the only way out of something is through it. Anything else just to help Sandy out through this that she's feeling? Yeah, Nine of Swords. It's just about facing it. It really is. And that's just kind of what I was saying before I even pulled the card. And then we have an opportunity to go a direction that feels good. So a new beginning, a new opportunity coming in that you're going to be able to almost distract yourself. And I don't want to use the word distract like you're not facing what you're currently in. Because a lot of times this type of feeling or energy, if you want to Google Dark Night of the Soul, I know that's such like a new age term, but I mean, it really is kind of a universal feeling so many of us feel when we realize, or we know, or we on some level understand this world is not very supportive of love and happiness and helping one another. This is such a dog eat dog world. And here we are, these, divine beings living in this fallen world. It can be very chaotic to exist here, and not just exist here, but thrive and enjoy and love and laugh and be happy here. It can be very difficult, especially to hold that at a pinnacle and just remain there. It's usually an up and a down, an ebb and a flow, and a come and a go. We're not always just on top of everything. And that's okay. From time to time, it's okay to feel like crap or like, we can't focus. But at the same time, it's usually having to do with a lot of this entity interference. And one thing specifically that I picked up, and this might just be a message for everybody. I don't know what it was, kind of around the Halloween, Samhain portal of, the veil being very thin. But this year, it feels to me like there was just extra attachments, through like a lot of like horror movies and violence and even true crime stuff. Like they are, and by they I mean, powers that are making this matrix run the way it does. It's like they're even inserting hooks into things that have already been established because even for them, they can manipulate time. Time isn't linear the way it is for those of us caught in this web of the matrix here. But it's like they're planting or putting these etheric cords into all sorts of media. So maybe even just trying to clear your energy of all the hooks and cords that reading certain types of books or watching certain kinds of movies or TV shows that maybe make you anxious or feel not so good, that can really benefit as well. All right. So let's put these back. I hope that helps, Sandy. And yeah, just moving the shop to a large space, which will be much better. There you go. Yeah, so you can almost use this shop move as your way through and helping you process these emotions, these feelings, these thoughts. And maybe even giving you something to focus on if you're having trouble finding that sense of focus. Moving shop is, I mean, I don't know, a better thing really to kind of get you in the present moment, because you're going to have to be physically moving things from one place to another and, organizing, and you're going to be very involved in the process. So that's going to be very beneficial for you to be in the present moment for sure. All right, Sandy, I hope that helped you. There we go. All right, so next we have Anna, aka Earthy Deva. And then on deck we have Cha-Cha, the Junking Data Girl, and I saw we did have another information come in as we were doing Sandy's reading. Yes, from Mona. And what a generous donation. So yeah, we'll go a little more in depth for you, Mona. Mona. So we've got Rosie underscore dot underscore YouTube. Right. There we go. So let's get into Anna Deva's question. Let me know if you're here, Anna. I can always timestamp it. I usually do timestamp yours, so is no problem to do that. But we are at 51:53. So Anna Deva. I'm going to circle it because I got quite the big list of scribbles out and timestamps here going here. So I circled it so I don't forget to put the timestamp for you. But let's go over to email. Take a quick drink of water. Okay, 2 questions. So 2 1-card reads. Perfect. Been offered a job I like, but I am afraid to take the chance for a few reasons. I'd like a higher, possibly comforting point of view regarding the situation. Okay, so let's get into that question first. We'll kind of take a do I stay, do I go card for each kind of path to take and get some clarity for you there, and then we'll get into your second question. Okay, so for this new job offer, best interest to take this job or to stay at current job, and just general advice for all of this whole question here. Okay. So, did I say take the job first? No, I said, yeah, take the new job. That's right. Yeah. So 5 of Pentacles here. So I think intuitively you realize there's something missing from this job, even though it's something you might enjoy. Maybe the pay isn't as high. A lot of times with Pentacles, it usually has to do with financial or, material world things. And when you're asking about a job, that could be maybe the hours aren't great or the pay isn't as much. There's something just slightly lacking with this new job that, yeah, it might be enjoyable, but ... There's something either intuitively you're like, I don't know, or just something kind of holding you back from just saying yes. We can get more into that as well. As far as staying at your current job, we have the Page of Wands. To me, this feels like you taking your power back, or if you felt very stagnant or stuck at your current job, this is just about showing up in new energy. It doesn't necessarily mean that your job title or position would change, although if there is a job opening or position shift that you can see you taking at the same job, I would say take it. It would be a really great opportunity. And overall energy of your question, we have 7 of Swords. It almost feels like you it's like you're not getting everything you have worked for. And I get this energy a lot when we read, like, for Cheyenne. So I don't know if you hear a lot of her readings and whatnot, but it's almost like feeling like you're putting in all this effort, all this work, you're showing up, you care a lot, but yet at the same time, it's like you're not being paid or compensated for the level of care and love and attention and effort you give your job, and that makes you start to feel resentful or want to pull back and not give as much of yourself at work, or you're just trying to skate by and do the bare minimum because you're just over it, you're just sick of it. Um, and if that is the case with what you're currently dealing with, I want to get you some advice as far as specifically why this new job offer is just not feeling 100% in alignment for Anna at this time. So it might be a bigger workload. That could be what it is. Maybe not so much that you're not being paid as much as you are now. You may be even getting paid more, but the workload itself or the hours are longer or more stressful. There's something stressful about the new job or new endeavor that, again, though, not saying you shouldn't take it. This is about you trusting your intuition, but it might be a bit of a burden to shift from your current job to this new endeavor. And I just want to reread that question that you had posted just so I make sure I'm covering all my bases here. Offered a job I like, but I'm afraid to take the chance for a few reasons. So hopefully the reasons that you have about being afraid to take this position have been addressed. Hopefully. Yeah. If not, let's just see any general advice as far as reasons she might be afraid to take this and just giving her advice on those reasons. Yeah. So there is a sense of nostalgia or, leaving the past behind, leaving the current work situation behind, closing out of chapters, or if you do have to leave the area or move, the world is such a global type of energy here, moving, or if you're working remote or online or something like that, or if you are worried that this job isn't very stable, like the job that you're currently at, these are all valid reasons to be afraid or to wonder, is this the right move? But ultimately, the advice here is to close something out. So whether this is your worry about this job or the job itself, and to take the opportunity, it's gonna have to be your choice, though. That's very clear in these cards. Is not for Miss Amanda here to tell you, yes, definitely take the job, or no, stay at your current job. I'm not going to do any of that. In fact, you already know what you're going to do. Even if you don't know it yet, you already know what you're going to do. And I would advise you just trust your intuition. And even if neither feel the best right now, take the one that feels like the most stable to you moving forward for yourself. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get exactly to the nuance of what I think you're wanting from that question in just such a short question. But hopefully I covered enough ground here that you have an idea of what's going on here. But let's get into your second question, Anna, which is, can Stefano, dropped a card, I think. Okay, so this must be part of it. I hit it with my elbow without meaning to. And why am I stuck? Why am I stuck? I have stuff everywhere. We're in the transition of moving this room. We're not moving this room like out of our house or anything. We're moving my office into the little landing area and my filming space to the garage. And then my youngest son is actually going to end up with this bedroom as a bedroom, as it was intended from day one. But let me read your question here. Can Stefano and I create a healthy, deeply loving, and passionate, long-lasting relationship? Things are good, but sometimes I focus on the lack, and it's hard to believe everything is and will be fine. Thank you. Yes, let's tune in. We have a really great start going on here. Hello, Kirsten. Welcome. Yeah, absolutely, Rosie. I can totally timestamp it if you have to go. I usually do kind of shout out, hey, are you here? And if not, I will timestamp. Yeah. So there's definitely this forward momentum, planting of seeds, new beginning. And because this relationship in and of itself is, if I'm remembering correctly, like less than a year long, that this is the energy you're in. It feels very stable and supportive, to move in a stable and supportive direction moving forward as well. So let's just see. I'm going to read the first part of your question again, Anna. Make sure we have it here. So can you and Stefano create a loving, healthy, deeply loving, and passionate, long-lasting relationship? Things are good, but sometimes they focus on the lack. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and that's where and this reminds me of something I said on the last live stream. You've probably heard, many people have heard, it's the wolf you feed that starts to thrive, or the wolf you feed. So are you feeding the positive or are you feeding the negative? So if you're feeding the positive, that doesn't mean you're completely ignoring the negative. No, you'll still face the negative cycles or issues or wounds or whatever it is that feels lacking in your relationship. But by focusing on the good, it's not going to take away the bad, but it's going to allow you, by focusing on the good, to make space to work on those things that feel lacking. That if you were just so focused on the lack, that you wouldn't be able to, because we have the two pentacles here. It's about finding that balance. It's about knowing where to put the focus, because the twos in the tarot, specifically pentacles, swords, and even wands, it's like the possibilities are endless, or there's so much going on, I'm not sure where to focus. It really is a card of trying to narrow or hone a focus. So I can totally see why that's coming up. But I love, though, too, also that we have the magician here, because this is letting the wolf you feed. So if you're going to really focus on the positive, it doesn't mean that the lack feeling goes away. No, and in fact, it actually creates that space for you to be able to work on those things that make you feel like there's a lack, or that could be better in a relationship. And that being said, no relationship out there under the sun is perfect. Not one that I've ever discovered or been a part of, for sure. But it's the more that we put our own effort and manifestation and intention into a relationship, without it becoming codependent or narcissistic empath dynamic. I don't see any of that so much with you, but a lot of times when we expect the other person to fulfill us by creating a happiness within us, that's where we usually will fall short, because that's the thing. We think that this other person completes us, or that they make us happy. Yes, they can definitely contribute to you feeling more complete, or contribute to your happiness, but they themselves are not your happiness or creating that happiness for you. They may help generate it within you, but they are not what's creating it. And when you can remember that, and remember you create your own happiness, you create your own joy, that's when you bring your power back to front and center, and realize, even if there are things lacking in the relationship, that it doesn't have to be the end of the relationship, or that it can't continue on being stable. Especially as the years and days, weeks, months, and years wear on, those things that might feel unstable or lacking will become very obvious over time, specifically. And a lot of couples, they might bury those things for a while, but they always will rear their head. So the more you can focus on joy, Anna, and happiness and the good things in your relationship, that will, like I said, create that space for you to also examine the things that are lacking or need work or could be better, without feeling like those are the only things that your relationship is built on. You know what I mean? So let's just see any other advice needs to come through here today for Anna about her relationship, building a solid, stable foundation. This relationship, yeah, it's about putting in the effort, putting in the work, showing up, loving each other, even when you feel unlovable, or you feel he's being unlovable, or whatever it is. It's about showing up, putting in the work, loving each other through all of it, and not giving up, because this is a longevity card, but not longevity is by way of it's guaranteed. It's only guaranteed if you keep showing up, keep putting in the effort, keep putting in the work. And specifically a romantic relationship, it's always going to be work. There may be ebbs and flows to the relationship where things feel effortless, you're on the same page, you're on the same wavelength, on the same vibe, and then other times you couldn't feel more in opposite directions, and why are we even together, and all the things. I'm sure most couples go through these ebbs and flows, and depending on where you put your focus or where you shift your focus, and also choosing, not just to focus, la la la, I can't see the bad things or the lack, I can only see the beautiful. That's not healthy either, because we do have to be realistic, right? And communication is huge for any relationship, but specifically with a partnership like this. So communication will be key to help you and Stefano feel included. And yeah, look at that. Yeah, beautiful. So, but this is about, deciding day after day to do the hard thing and continue on in the relationship, because it's not always easy. It's not always going to be hard, though, either. So it's about finding the balance of the two and being able to manifest the reality of your relationship that you are hoping for, without ignoring the red flags or the things that are building up in the background that don't feel very good. Instead of allowing them to continue to build up, turn around, face them, dive in, figure it out together, and then be able to focus on the good again. Yeah, there we go. Hope that helped you, Anna. All right, so up next we have Cha-Cha, the Junking Data Girl. And Rosie will be on deck after that. And we had a 1-card pull for Kirsten. Let's get Kirsten on the list. 1-card pull. And of course, we still have our giveaway and our perpetual drawing on deck at some point. All right, so let me update our list here and let you see what we've got going on here. So Cha-Cha, the Junking Data Girl. Let's get into your question. And it is, what message do you have for me? Anything I should know? All right, let's tune in for Cha-Cha. Mind your ears. I'm going to shuffle. Riffle shuffle. Sometimes that can get very loud. This deck isn't seeming as loud as others I have. A little quieter anyway. All right. So let's go back to the camera view here. Message for Cha-Cha. Tuning into Cha-Cha's energy for a message. Okay. We have 4 that are coming out right away here. Ooh. Well, we already have 2 major arcanas. Wow. Okay. So if you're currently going through something, it's very interesting. Both of these major arcanas have this little, I don't even know what, unicorn. The unicorn just flying through life, just flying above the rainbows, flying above the clouds, flying toward the sun, just rising above. And we have this 10 of Wands here. Yes. And a Page of Swords. Page of Swords is about getting the clarity, finding the sense of direction to move forward, getting a bit of news or even inspiration, a good idea to be able to move forward. But before that's said and done, there's a big burden or a big hurdle you're either currently going through, Cha-Cha, or about to go through that's going to feel like you've got a lot on your plate. I mean, this guy's got a lot of lollipops there. But I always see these different, normally in the 10 of Wands, it is, 10 wands. And I always look at that bundle of wands as like building material for whatever it is you're wanting to create in your life. So yes, sometimes it's hard to go through these big challenges and hurdles, and you just almost feel like throwing your hands up, dropping everything and just giving up because it's so much. Like there's so much going on for you right now. And I would say this is probably going to kind of continue into next month as well, just because we have all these holidays coming up. And especially if you're someone who does celebrate and, thinking of all the gifts you are getting people. I mean, it can be a lot to throw into an already very busy, very overwhelming life that most of us lead from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, right? So I would say it's not going to slow down much, but the good news is you can take it upon yourself to take pockets of time throughout the day when you are feeling stressed, when you are feeling worried or overwhelmed, to take a breath, to do something that brings you happiness and joy, even if it feels like completely frivolous, waste of time, whatever. There really is no waste of time here. This is about you taking care of yourself through all of this stress, worry, burden, anxiety, and all the things that you're going through. Because you have the sun. Anytime the sun pops out in a reading, especially it was the first card I saw because it had flipped the other way than the other cards, it lets you know that no matter what you're going through, no matter how bad it gets, you're always going to find that silver lining, usually sooner than later. So even in the thick of all that you're going through, it's almost like you're going to laugh because you're like, I know when this is all said and done, I'm just going to be able to laugh at this because yes, it's a lot right now, but looking back, I'll be like, wow, that I did it. It felt like a really big deal in the moment, but like, wow, I did it. So you're overcoming something and you're going to be able to move forward. Not just move forward and then take a sigh of relief and then on to the next big burden. No, you're going to actually have time to enjoy yourself or kind of stop and smell the roses after this big thing takes place. There might even be during this whole thing a signing of a contract or, a lot of times this is like learning. It could be a lot of times the Hierophant indicates like a religious figure. So if you are someone who's religious, or spiritual, just really relying on whatever higher power, or if it's just your own spirit, just really tuning into that higher power, whatever that means to you, to get you through these times is really going to help you and benefit you. Um, but again, signing of contract, you might be getting new keys either to a car, a home, something like this. Um, Maybe even replacing keys or locks or something like that. I don't know. Very random message coming through. But eventually you'll hit your groove once you get over the biggest part of this obstacle. You'll really hit your groove and be able to almost sail over the rest of the issues or the rest of the problems, or in comparison to what you've just been through, these little hiccups and bumps on the road are just nothing compared to what you've been through. So you're just going to be able to, take those punches as they come, and you're gonna be like, okay, I've got it. I'm doing it. Yes, we got this. Like, that's what that really feels like to me, Cha Cha. But let's just see if there's any other additional messages that need to come through, words of advice or wisdom, especially through this big thing that Cha Cha's going through right now. Words, wisdom, advice, guidance for Cha Cha. Ooh, got two. Ooh, yeah, definitely has to do with your home and your family life, but also the fact that you're making changes to this home or family life, because with the North Node, there's a new life goal that you're putting, you know, in front of yourself to achieve or attain, where it comes to your home life or your family life. Yeah, so that you're making changes. If you're not like moving, you're definitely making some big changes around the home and even the way that you communicate with your family members, both those that live with you and even extended family members and even friends that feel like family. I think we can include those types of relationships in this energy as well. Um, but these types of relationships that you have that feel like family or that are actual family, are really going to be the thing that get you through all of this burden and hassle and worry. And you might even have some family members step up to want to help, whatever that looks like. They might just help with a comforting, word, or they might like literally show up at your house and be like, "What do you need me to do?" They roll up their sleeves and they get to work, whatever that looks like. But don't be afraid during these next, I would say, few months at least to ask for help. Don't be afraid, because you're going to be very pleasantly surprised that people are actually showing up to help you where you thought, "Oh, I do all this myself." No, there's more than enough people ready and willing to help you. All you need to do is ask. And Cha Cha, if you're somebody who someone does ask, "Hey, is there anything I can do? Do you need any help?" And you're like, "Oh, no, no, I got it." Don't do that. Don't block your blessings, because it's like the universe is sending these troops in to help you through these times. So please, if you feel comfortable enough, allow the help that's being offered. All right. Yeah, getting tired of the bumpy roads, right? I feel ya. All right, two more messages here. So river and bravery. Yeah, it's like it's reminding me of the game the Oregon Trail that I used to play like in grade school on the old floppy disk. It's like you got to forge the river, and like more than half the time your cart would, you'd break a wheel or an axle, or you'd lose an oxen or something crossing that river. But it's going to take a lot of courage for you to cross that obstacle, cross that river. The bump in the road may, the road may disappear, and at some point you're trudging a river or you're forging a river. More, I would say, more metaphorical than literal. But hey, going with all of the symbolism coming in here, if you can go to a river, I wouldn't probably advise sticking your toe in unless you're somewhere where that's very tropical, but I'm not getting that vibe that you live in a place like that. But just going and visiting a river, just watching the water flow, watching the birds dip down, or any fish that might be jumping, just observing nature in its essence can really help put things in perspective for you. But it's like you really are stepping up to the plate, putting on a brave face through all of this. And this does remind me almost of Merida from the Disney movie Brave, how she's not going to bend to the will of this person or that person. She's going to be true and authentic to herself through all of it. And I really do see you really discovering a lot about your strength and just resiliency through these obstacles and hurdles that you're currently going through, Cha Cha. So keep going, because you're going to be really happy with how far you come. Again, looking back, you're going to almost be able to laugh at all of this and be like, wow, I really did it. I did it. And by the spring, yeah, we got the spring card here. By the spring, you're going to be in a much better mental, I already said that, emotional and spiritual place. You're going to be in a much better place when the sun is shining again. Yeah, yeah. And I know this probably doesn't lend a lot of hope as far as, well, I'd like to be out of this energy next week. It's letting you know there might be just more of the same going on with what's going on, but you have a lot more control here on maybe not so much what's going on, but how you respond to what's going on. And again, making sure you're taking time to enjoy your life, to have some fun, to take care of yourself, to live, laugh, love through all of this stuff is going to be key to not feeling completely overwhelmed. Okay. So big hugs to Cha Cha. Oh, one more message. King of Swords. Yeah. This is a lot of times being able to speak into reality what it is you're hoping to experience. So also being in communication, not just with the people around you, but with yourself. Being in very clear communication with what your expectations are or what your intentions are with any direction you're moving. And even in what's the word? I was gonna say instilling, but that's not the right word. Like instigating, that's not even the right word either. Instituting, maybe. Instituting help of somebody who's like a King of Swords energy. That could be a husband, a brother, someone you have like really good communication skills with that could actually step up to the plate and really help you through this time. You don't have to do it alone, is essentially what this is trying to say. All right. So I hope that resonated, Cha Cha. Thanks again for your donation. And we are all rooting you on. You'll have to let us know how these next few months go. But you're going to be so much happier in a few months. Let's just put it that way. Because this overburdened bump in the road energy isn't going to last forever. So just deep breaths, have some fun, some laughs along the way, because you've earned it and you do deserve it. All right, Cha Cha. Big hugs to you. Jamie! We haven't done the giveaway yet, so you're right in time. We do have a couple more reads to get through, though, before we venture into the giveaway and drawing territory, though. So let's get into Rosie's question. And dun, dun, dun. Rosie's question is, I don't know what her question is. Did she leave her question? Does anyone know? It just says the donation amount. It doesn't have a question. And I know she said she'd kind of be in and out. Oh, thanks. I might have to jump. Yeah, for a work call. So please proceed if you don't see me. Oh, I see what she's saying. Just go to the next person if we don't see her. So let's just do a call out for Mona, aka Rosie, aka Mona. Let's just see if she's on a call or if she's currently here. Otherwise, we'll move into Kirsten's one card read. So between Mona, Rosie, and Kirsten, whoever posts their question first, we'll get into your question first. And Kirsten might already have her question on PayPal. No, she does not. So whoever of Mona or Kirsten, whoever posts their question first, that's the one we're going to dive into. And it's a one card read for Kirsten. Yeah, we'll get you a card. You weren't here earlier, but put an 888 in the chat. No. What ones did we do? We did the story cards. Let's do that. Yeah, we have some time to fill here, so let's do it. Yeah, the Junking Data Girl says it's about time. It's been a heck of a time. Yeah, I can feel it. All right, wow. There's a lot going on for Jamie. Let's see. Wildflower, Giving, and Visionary. Ooh. I love this. It's such a creative energy here. Very creative energy. So with the Wildflower, this is just about honoring who you are in a way that feels just not like you're having to, you know, how they say the more that you can act like the exact same person with your mom, your best friend, your boss, a coworker, a significant other. If you are acting like a very similar person between all of those people, it's said that you're probably acting as your authentic self. But if you act a little more this way with that person, a little more that way with that person, to kind of almost chameleon yourself into a version of yourself that you feel is acceptable to that person or that person or that person, that lets us know a lot of times maybe we aren't being authentic to ourselves if we're kind of catching ourselves doing that. And I know, you know, you act different with your friends than you would say, you know, your third grade teacher or something, obviously. But there are those core parts or pieces of your personality and who you are that really should, you know, whatever, should remain very the same or similar between all the groups if you are being authentic to yourself. So if you're catching yourself maybe acting as this version or that version, and you kind of want to consolidate those versions into one version, this would help you. With the Visionary here, you don't have to just settle as a version of yourself that you think this person thinks you are or that person thinks you are. This really is about settling into, not settling, but settling into the version of yourself that you know you are. And because here, it's like the sun is just now peeking into your sky. But look, you have this giving card that the sun has taken up the whole sky. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So this is about you filling in all the voids and the spaces of your personality to become your authentic self, and not just being that version of yourself you were back then or over there, but just who you know yourself to be on a more spirit level. The more creative and authentic and unique version of yourself that you can allow yourself to embody, the better off you're going to be. And, you know, the more you're going to shine that light in this world, even if other people can't stand that light. That's on them, not on you. I love it. Yes, you love who you are now. Yes, I love it. Yep, you're embodying more of that. Yeah, been working on yourself. So that's just a message of validation that you're on the right track, and to just keep going with it because you're on the right track for sure. All right, you're so welcome. So Kirsten wants to know, should I quit LuLaRoe? I keep running into issues with it, but the big wigs there are doing their best to help me. Okay, let's go to the after tarot. Haven't used this yet today, except when it fell off the stack for Anna. And this is the loud shuffle. So if you're wearing headphones, maybe turn it down just a bit because these are loud, or louder of a couple of decks I have out. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, two sides growing up. Yeah, I can resonate with that as well. I used to be very quiet and closed off around people I didn't know or what have you, and really open and boisterous and loud with those that I did. Yeah. But let's tune in for Kirsten. Kirsten's energy. If it's in her best interest from her spirit, if she should quit LuLaRoe, or if she should keep going because those big wigs are doing their best to help her. Okay, so quitting, we have here Olympic athlete. So I'm hearing if you quit now, you would quit right before the finish line of something. So you're about to have a breakthrough. As far as staying on and the big wigs helping you, ooh, we do have the High Priestess here. So there's something that you don't know, or some veil of illusion that will be soon lifted. So it's almost like if you were to quit now, you might lose out on some investment, or actually be like under, like, what's the word, like in the red or like underwater, compared to like even had made a few $100s or something. So to reap what you've invested, it would be best to, stick with it a little longer. But that also being said, there is an air of mystery, or just not having all the information, or maybe that these bigwigs are saying they're helping you or trying to help you, but really they're not doing much. But let's tune more into that. Just see if there's any sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like keeping you in the dark, or any kind of manipulation going on behind the scenes that's just not fair to Kirsten. Is there any of that going on? I'm hearing not so much by way of these bigwigs, but just by the way that this system is set up. It's really designed for those bigwigs to, keep getting fatter and heavier and more like more money coming in for them. And it's on the backs of all the people below them that are actually raking it in for them. Not to say they're not working and doing their thing as well, but it feels to me like the system with which it's all built on is the illusion, not so much that these people are saying they're helping you and they're not. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. And then we have, as far as you being able to feel good about this, I do see there is some sort of victory or milestone coming up that if you did quit now, you wouldn't get to reap that. But Kirsten, what I'm seeing here is for you to trust your intuition, so that if at some point you hit this point where you feel like you're spinning your wheels, nothing's working, even if they say they're helping, there really doesn't feel like they're helping. That might be your indication to kind of exit stage left. And will she hit this by the end of the year? No, I think you'll be able to continue through this year and maybe even have a bit of a, hard work paying off, reaping what you've sown. All that work and effort you put in, you're going to have a bit of a mini windfall. I'm not seeing like a huge, taking on market share or anything like that. But as far as considering it a win for yourself, by the end of the year, you're going to have some sales, or feel like it's worth your while is really what I see here. But as far as long-term success or just your overall happiness with this company long term, I think it's going to start to wane after a while, mean start to kind of go on the stretch. Doesn't mean you can't have, it go back up again, but I think after the new year is really what I'm seeing is you're just kind of like, I don't know. I think I could be using this time that I'm investing in this into something else and actually make more than what I'm making with this endeavor. But let's just see anything else Kirsten needs to know about sticking with LuLaRoe or not. Yeah. I mean, the choice really is going to be yours. And, the future isn't a set in stone because we've got a lot of time. This is so on par with the energy going on right now. So this might even feel like a collective message, not just to LuLaRoe question from Kirsten, but this specifically is geared toward Kirsten. But if you resonate with this as well, take it. There are so many different timelines opening, old ones collapsing into each other, merging right now, that it almost feels like possibilities really are endless, which can, that underlying message of hope with the Seven of Cups we normally get can actually feel very far away for many of us right now because things just feel so unstable, uncertain. We might see a lot of different markets and stock market type things are concerning. Unemployment's going to start surging a little collectively. Doesn't mean those of you listening now are losing your jobs or anything like that, but those of you like Kirsten specifically, since it's her question, people that are maybe losing their jobs aren't going to have so much extra cash to spend on, say, leggings or those really cool shirts that they have on LuLaRoe and other accessories I'm sure they have by now that I just don't know about. So people are going to start kind of being more conscious or careful about where they're spending their money. And that just for you specifically, Kirsten, might be kind of going into 2024, even into 2025, where certain cycles are closing out and you're going to maybe possibly decide to leave this company for way of a better opportunity, something that feels more tangible and more stable and more an equal energy exchange. When you put in the work, you're going to get the payment. Be that you working for someone else or just working your own side hustle or gig, remains to be seen. My father was just talking about having to do work share at his job. Wow. I'm not exactly sure what work share is, but I know like when my husband worked in the healthcare industry, he's in IT in the healthcare industry, but like hospital wide, they would make people take furlough days. So basically they'd have to take unpaid days off just to help bridge the gap so that no one had to get fired or laid off. So everybody's taking home a little less, but no one loses their job, which is good, but like also not as good because you're not bringing home as much. So I don't know if that's exactly what he was talking about, but I'm just seeing people in general are maybe coming upon a little bit harder times over the next year and a half. May even have already started to kick off in certain, markets of, I'm not exactly sure where you live, and you don't have to tell us, Kirsten, if you don't want to, but that might already be starting in your area or about to start. Unemployment days. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, very similar to like a furlough day. So again, it just feels maybe a little like everybody's already got all the customers, so how am I going to compete in this thing? Or customers are just so hard to find. It's like you got to fight for scraps, even to find a customer. And if that's the case, eventually you will probably decide to leave LuLaRoe because it's more effort than it's worth. But for now, I'd say at least by the end of the year, you might have a bit of a mini payoff or find a good customer base there. But again, I do think that the company itself is just built on kind of a faulty, I'm sure it's not faulty at all for those, halfway up the ladder and beyond. But those of you just starting out or, getting in on the ground floor, it's much harder, a lot more pounding of pavement and all of that. Everyone's struggling right now. Yeah. So that just could be, again, just that consumers aren't consuming as much. And usually the first types of things to go are, things people maybe consider luxury. Instead of shopping for their shirts at LuLaRoe or their leggings at LuLaRoe, maybe they're going to just hit up the Old Navy or the Walmart or somewhere they can get it for cheaper. And yeah, it's probably lesser quality or what have you, but it's gonna fit the budget. You know what I mean? Tough niche, yeah. Take this works skills and try selling clothes, not just one brand. Yeah, oh yeah, that's an idea. Yeah. Well, anyway, I hope that helped, Kirsten. And Mona, Rosie, are you here? If she's not here or we're not getting a response, we're gonna go into our giveaway. So don't go away. Thanks you guys for the likes. We've got 8 people. Oh, now 7 people. Someone left. 7 people. We got 11 likes on that video. Thank you so much. Or video, live stream, whatever. Yeah. All right. When I was a kid, I always thought it'd be the coolest thing to own like a cool little shop that coffee wasn't like the big thing that it is now when I was a kid, but I thought it'd be fun to have like a little bakery slash cafe and a bookstore and like a little gift shop type thing that sold like clothing and stuff like that. As a kid, I thought, oh my gosh, if I could ever like own something like that someday, that would be like so cool. Yeah. I mean, that would be fun. All right. So Rosie, Mona. Is she here? All right. I think what we will do, Rosie, Mona, if you are hearing this, go ahead and put your question into the chat. We're going to do the giveaway right now, and then the drawing. But if you do hear this, Mona, go ahead and put your question in the chat. And then even if you do have to duck out for a work call, I will be able to timestamp your question for you, so we don't miss your question today. Because I don't want to have to put you as a holdover if you are busy. But also anybody who isn't in the chat that did donate and they have to be pulled away, you can always email me. If you can't get to the chat, you can always email me and say, well, my question was this, and then if I see it, of course, before the live stream is over, I can put it in this live stream. But if I don't see it, I can start you off, as a holdover on the next live stream. Because I understand, we're live during the middle of the day. People are working. They got things going on. I get it. But I also don't want to end the live stream when she's donated and not answer something for her. You know what I mean? I'd feel bad leaving her hanging all weekend and half of next week before we're live again. But let's see. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do our giveaway. We've got 5 people here, so this should hopefully be fun for everybody that wants to participate. So the directions, there really are no rules, but the directions are, I'm going to shuffle this deck and I'm going to draw one of these tarot cards, and your job to win the giveaway is to figure out what card I have drawn. So you can go ahead and start guessing or using your intuition right now to figure out what card am I going to pull from this Phantom Tarot deck, and it's right here. Ooh, cool. We've got it. This is our card. So go ahead and decide. What is it? Is it a major arcana? Is it a wand? Is it a pentacle, a cup, a sword? What is it? And if we're guessing and we're not getting it, I will narrow it down. Ooh, we got someone guess part of it above and someone guess part of it below just now. Yeah. I would say Cha-Cha started it out. She knew it was a wand and she was right. But what wand is it? Is it the ace through the 10 or the page through the king? What wand card is it? What wand card is it? Yeah, guess. Ace through 10 or any of those 4 court cards. You've got your page, your knight, your queen, your king. Or ace through 10 of the suit. Someone's going to get it. I know that for a fact. It's a wand card. It's a wand card. And yeah. All right. So close. We're so close. I think it's like the only one we haven't guessed yet. The only one. We are close. All right. Oh, and Cheyenne got it. The 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands. Competition was very stiff in this little past couple of minutes here. Yes, Cheyenne, you won last time, and she also won the giveaway. She was a double winner Look at that. 5 of Wands. Look at that. So yes, Cheyenne, go ahead and post your question. And while she's thinking of a question, I'm also going to enter everybody. Put a 555 in the chat, and that will let me know you want me to enter you into our perpetual drawing. And you did not have to win the giveaway to be put in the drawing. Just put a 555 in the chat. That lets me know you want me to write your name on this little slip of paper, or that one, or that one, or that one. And we'll put it in the cup, and then we'll draw after everybody has had a chance. And if you didn't get your name drawn today, hey, there might be a time down the road, next live stream, 3 live streams, 10 live streams from now, until I dump this out and say we're not doing it anymore, you have a chance to win every single live stream. And there was one live stream even that I accidentally drew 2 names. So hey, sometimes you might have a more than one chance to get in there. So the junking data girl, let's add you. Data girl. It's so hard to write on these little strips of paper, which I say every single time, just to justify my poor handwriting. Boom, we've entered Cha-Cha into the drawing. And who else? Vicky. Vicky wants to be entered to win. Vicky Downey. And who else? We have Cheyenne. Oh, you just missed it, Brandy Lynn. You just missed it. Downey. Cheyenne Downey. Boom. And Brandy Lynn. Aw, you would like to give it to Vicky. What a sweet sister you are. All right, Brandy Lynn. Brandy Lynn. And so, Vicky, you can go ahead and come up with a question that you would like to know the answer to. And anyone else that wants to enter into our perpetual drawing, which I'm going to draw here in about 30 seconds, get your 555 in the chat. 555 in the chat. Last call to enter today's drawing. Last call. So if you're on a work call or you're distracted, now's the time. Get in here. Get that 555 in the chat. Boom, you're entered. 10 seconds. We got it. Oh, I'll take a quick drink of water. Anyone else? And Mona, if you are here, Rosie, please put your question in the chat. We're going to get right into it after our giveaway and our drawing. All right. All right. And buzzer. And okay, let's do our drawing. So we're going to take care of Vicky's reading. She wants a general. And we're also going to draw a new name. My knuckles got caught. Okay, we have a new winner. Who is it today? Marlene. Marlene, she was here earlier, but she's not here right now. But I will timestamp Marlene when we get to that portion of the giveaway / drawing reading. But we're going to start with Vicky. So she wants a general. So this was the kind of underlying energy of what we're reading about for you today. And because Cheyenne was so generous to gift it to you and she had guessed it, I do feel that 5 of Wands really does have to do, again, with kind of just the household energy and just the chaotic kind of just butting up of energies, frustration of feeling everybody else's energy in trying to cleanse the energy of your room and keep it that way. I think you guys have both been working very hard to get that going and to be able to do that. Yeah, whatever spirit tells her, it could pertain to me too, right? I know. It's just so on point. But it's basically that 5 of Wands is saying, even though you're living in this chaotic environment, you both are doing the best you can to keep your own room cleansed of that energy. So good on you. Good job. So Vicky, there's some really, really good healing coming in, and also recognition, maybe even meeting up or having some fun, talking about something that feels like a common interest with somebody that you know on the internet. This could be your internet friends or someone you know in real life, as they say, but that you're just chatting with online or through text message, just communication coming in. Also, this is like a card of short distance travel. So I always would say, like, a little day trip or something would be fun, especially even if you don't want to spend a bunch of money. There's so much fun to be had just going out, even in your own city or town, and just going different places and window shopping or walking in nature. in places that you don't normally go, could really benefit you, Vicky, just to get out and about and see things, and maybe even just not really have any true agenda or intention in mind, but you just start going and just see where you go. Just if you're driving, that usually you kind of you know think you would have to have a destination, but that's not necessarily true. But even if you're just walking on foot or you drive downtown and you just park and just walk around and just see where the path takes you, sometimes that can just be so fun and just energizing. Let's see, anything else Vicky needs to know? Does Vicky need to know? But there's definitely healing energy available to you. Yeah. Specifically with communication, and this to me feels like your father's energy, just healing or choosing a new way to respond or react to him, or to just kind of give yourself a break from him. We have a trip after Christmas. She is lagging on the video, so I'm replying for her. Okay, awesome. I'm so glad you're there to help her, help her get her message. So Vicky, if you are still kind of struggling with feeling frustrated with your dad and stuff, I do see you being able to overcome or heal or almost just not allow that energy that he's, exuding in your direction to really affect you at this time. Anything else? Yeah, some good clarity coming in, just really knowing what direction. And we have 3 swords here. And this really is indicating that there's some good mental clarity or really good ideas or ways of communicating that are coming to you that you can then use to benefit your life. But this is also a yes. So if you had any questions that you were wondering, is this going to work out in my favor? Is something good going to happen? Yes, there's something good really happening. But this is also a card of truth. So if there is any kind of secrets or hidden information about your dad, or that, information he has that he has kept from you, just about, I don't even know what, specifically maybe even about the past, you might get some truth, or he might even communicate some truth of the past to you, or tell you something it could be not like he's keeping things from you, but this to me just feels like something about your past or your family, or something that he tells you guys that you'd never heard. And I just said you guys. Most of this reading has been Vicky, but I think both of you would obviously benefit from this information. It doesn't feel like a scandalous truth, like I'm not your real father, not nothing like that. But it just might be something that your father says, maybe even just an offhand comment, and you're like, oh wow, I never knew that. Really? It feels like something good. It's not like something that you're like, oh my god, how could you? It's good. It's at the very least, it's like, huh, I never knew that. Yeah. So something good, truth being revealed, clarity coming in, just anything else Vicky needs to know. Anything else at all? And we have here the 10 of Pentacles. So hello. Yeah, that new contract, new job could be pretty close at hand, or at least the beginning of something where you're starting to create a new foundation for yourself to, this isn't just like, oh, the next month, the next year. This is something you're creating that's going to last generations. This is generational wealth that you will start to create very, very soon now. So yeah, this is such a good indication too of wanting to kind of bridge the gap, or build better connections, or even sorry for the cough. If you're wearing headphones, my apologies. Even if you're wanting to, construct yourself some very clear boundaries with certain family members, especially masculine energy of the family members, it always comes out in both of your readings. Father figure, brothers, what have you, just setting very clear boundaries, or even finding new ways to communicate with these masculine energies in your life to feel a stronger connection without giving them any power. You know what I mean? So yeah, lots of little messages came through for that. So I hope that resonated. I hope she gets to see it in the non-lagging way on the replay or something. So thanks, Cheyenne, for relaying the information for us. All right. Oh yeah, absolutely. Junking Data Girl. If say it's a Tuesday or a Saturday or just a day I'm not live, if you do send a payment to my PayPal, but just please make sure you leave a note saying what your question is. And you can, if you wanted to say, I can't be live, and I would definitely timestamp that one because I wasn't guaranteed that you'd be there. Let me know, and I can definitely do that for sure. Because I've had people do that before. I've even had people where they paid like really early in the day, and then I didn't end up going live that night because kids or migraine or whatever. And then I definitely would pick them up very first on the next live stream. So yeah, you can totally do that. Yeah, I've had people do that before. So absolutely. Yeah, you don't always, if you're like wanting to keep the money until you know I'm live, like that's fine. But yeah, I've had people pay like the night before with their question and I just get them on the list. Yeah. Yeah, they meaning our family. Oh, did I miss something here? Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, you're so welcome. And of course, if you wanted it more as just a private link where I wasn't doing it on a live, the 10-minute reading is 33.33. And if you wanted to just shoot me an email, and I can send you the pricing for both the 10-minute reading, 20-minute reading, and then the hour-long reading. Those are the 3 kind of time slots that I have right now. I can send you more information and how to do all that. If you want to email me at amanda@donephotodesign.com. Let me write that out here. amanda@donephotodesign.com, because I know not everybody wants their personal questions blasted all over the internet. I get it. So I always do offer that as well. But the bulk of what I do these days is just on my live stream now. But I'm more than happy to either do a pre-recorded video to your question or questions. Of course, if you're asking like 10 questions in 10 minutes, it's going to be very quick, short answers per question. But if it's just one question with 10 minutes worth of time, we can, let it grow legs and expand on that question a little more. So keep that in mind if you had multiple questions, to know what time amount to book for getting the proper amount of information per question that you want. All right. And I both do questions either just pre-recorded. What I do is I set it up as a live stream, but it's marked as like unlisted, so it's not going to show up that, hey, I'm live doing Cha-Cha's reading right now. No one will see that it's live, and then it's just a private link that no one can search it unless they have the exact web address. And I will send you that then link, and then you can access it later on at your leisure. Otherwise, I also can schedule you on my calendar and do a one-to-one Zoom, be it 10-minute, 20-minute, an hour long. I can do it that way as well. Whichever one resonates most with you. They're the same price. It's just, what do you prefer? All right. So Mona, are you here? Rosie? I think I will do while we wait for hopefully Rosie does get back to us before we have to go. But I am going to do Marlene's giveaway. So let's see. So 14712. Oops, I dropped her name. Marlene, you won our giveaway. I dropped it again. I dropped it, but I did pick it up for that. So we have it. So what did I say? 147 something? We'll just say 13 to call it good. Okay, Marlene, you won our giveaway. So if you have a question in mind, and I don't think you're live anymore, you were earlier, but you might have gone to go do something else. So if you have a question in mind and this is the replay, you can pause it right now and kind of think of a question in the back of your mind that you want this reading to answer for you or to help shed light on or whatever it is. Otherwise, if you just want to leave it open to spirit, you can do that too. Time's not linear, so we'll get what we need from this reading. Let me go ahead and shuffle. And I actually want to pull 2 cards to kind of tell a story rather than just 1 card, because you know how I am. All right, Marlene, what does Marlene need to know? Either about her question or just leaving it open. Ooh, we have the Judgment card. I just heard rising above the fray. So rising above, seeing things from a higher perspective. I know a lot of times a different perspective would be like that Hanged Man energy, but this to me feels like you're released from that Hanged Man energy and now you've moved on, you've risen above, you see things more clearly, you can see more of the picture of whatever it is that you've got going on. Let's get into a story card as well, just to paint a picture here for Marlene for her question. Well, you get 2 story cards. So we have Frozen and Unity. So before you might have felt frozen or just kind of unsure as to, what direction to go or how to get beyond something. We have like a frozen over lake here or, water. But in this one, it's no longer frozen and it's actually very lively, very wavy. So it's like you're bringing this momentum where things once felt stuck, stagnant, stale, and stag. There's a stag or a buck here. So even looking at the spirit animal of the stag or the buck, specifically of a deer, I'm not seeing this as an elk or anything. So of a deer, looking up a buck, a deer, spirit animal symbolism to get a further message there. We also have 2 birds in a cage, but it appears that there's no bars on that cage. They're just kind of hanging out there, maybe almost like a bird feeder. So I don't know if you have a bird feeder, if that's something that brings you joy is watching birds in nature. But we have the unity card as well. So where you may have once felt frozen or separated from someone in your family or a friend group or something, it's like you're allowing that frozen energy to thaw out. And again, we've got very like more still than this water for sure, but all 3 of these cards have some depiction of water. So I think going close to water could really benefit you, Marlene, to get some clarity and perspective on ways to move forward in your life, or even just closing out old chapters with, people from your past could really benefit. And that's like the 3rd or 4th message of go out and be near a river or a lake or a stream that we've gotten during this live stream today. So yeah, I think just collectively that message is very on and popping. And I know in most of at least the northern states here, it's not very warm out there right now. So it's very interesting. We're getting all these go connect to water type messages. Yeah. Welcome back, Amber. Yes. All right. Well, Mona, I do not see her here. So I'm going to leave a little comment. Last call for Mona. We'll hang out for about 3 minutes. And hopefully Mona can let us know what her question is, or we're going to have to hold her over for next time. She donated for a reading and then said she might have to duck out because of a work call, which I think probably is what happened here. Yeah, we need to go for a walk, right? Yeah, absolutely, Amber. We're here. Might as well. And maybe that'll give Mona enough time to finish her work call, and we can just take care of her question before we have to go as well. So we'll just hang out and let Amber donate so we can dive into her question. And Marlene was our winner, and also Cheyenne, who then gave her reading to Vicky, which was very sweet. So I'm going to remind myself I got to make these timestamps here for Anna, Earthy Deva, and Marlene's drawing giveaway. In fact, I'm going to rewrite it because I can barely read what I've got going on here. It's so messy. So let's write these out again while we wait for Amber to, we'll keep you here forever, right? That's the thing. I love hanging out here, so it wouldn't be that difficult to keep me here. It's like the highlight of my week, meeting with you guys twice a week. Except the weeks that I don't get to meet with you twice a week, like I have a parent-teacher conference or a migrate or something, I'm like, I miss them. Hi. We got Wrigley checking on in. I'm like, children? I forgot I had them for a moment. They were being so quiet. That was Wrigley. He's going to be 9 in 9 days. Aren't ya? A man of many words, as you can hear. Yes. Earthy, Deva, timestamp, and Marlene is 1:47:13. Did you get bored? Did you watch the whole of YouTube? Did you watch all the internet? Did you finish your book? Apparently he is a man of no words today. I think he gets embarrassed on the live stream. So I'm going to show everyone your cool pajamas. No, I take that as a no. He's just smiling, looking down at the ground. Do you want to at least show them what you look like? I'm sure most of them know, but I'm going to write a note. Drawing winner. Oh my god, that's not how you spell drawing. So I remember to timestamp Marlene and Earthy Deva when our live stream is over today. And I throw that one away. I made a basket. Speaking of baskets, you have a basketball game tonight. Are you excited? Still a man of no words. Your daughter would camera bomb the whole call if I let her. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Yeah, that's how Wrigley used to be. Like when he would make appearances on my not my live stream, my like writing vlogs back in like I think the last one I even did like for NaNoWriMo writing vlogs was 2019. He'd only been 4 years old, turning 5 that year, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Time flies. He had the long hair back in the day. Do not eat the paper. Why do you in Boston do that?
It tastes good.
It tastes good? Ew.
Yeah.
There's like ink on that.
So?
You have all those nice pomegranates downstairs and you'd rather eat a piece of paper? That's weird. Put it in the garbage.
No.
Oh my gosh. I know.
It tastes weird.
Yeah, it does taste weird. So maybe stop eating it. That'd be step 1. Yeah, they do grow up so fast, right? All right, Amber. So she says, we had a major fight first on Friday and then on Monday. I took a stand and told my husband that he will either have to accept me the way I am or just part ways. He's not accepting me doing tarot, but has changed other behavior. He even threatened about, did I do the right things and what to do going forward?
It's a spider.
Yeah, there's a little spider on our wall. Spiders do represent creativity, and it's usually the female spider that like runs the show. So I think that's a very fitting message for what we've got going on here. Did I do the right thing and what to do going forward? It's become too much. Please, organic spirit creator, help. Okay. I'm already getting all the downloads about this. I have chills. So your mom is there for support if you need her. Definitely get to that support system of your mom when you need it or if you need it. My first thought or order of business on your question is him threatening to, is such a manipulative move. Usually these people that, I'm not like putting everybody in a boat and saying that everybody does the same thing, but usually if someone says this and then, doesn't do it, and then they say it again later, and then they don't do it, and then they say it again later, which I know this is at least the second time you've told me that he's threatened this.
Do you have any more paper that doesn't have ink on it?
You're not eating paper. Go find a snack. There's granola bars in the Lazy Susan cupboard thing. Anyway, usually when people threaten this, it is a like control move or a manipulation move to get you to do what they want, or, oh, you have your own voice and you're gonna take matters into your own hands. Well, then I'm gonna do this. The ultimate thing someone could do to completely change the dynamic. And to me, it feels like he has no actual thought to do that to himself. I mean, it's crossed so many people's minds just because entity interference is so rampant on this planet that most of the times that people have threatened that or even have thoughts of doing that to themselves, it's usually not your own thought process putting those thoughts in your head. It is outside entity interference. And yeah, he saw this as an opportunity to completely derail the conversation and get him back in the seat of power. Because if someone's threatening to do that, it's like they took all the power and they're like, you don't do what I say, I'm going to do this. And that's what he thought he would get by doing that. But again, I think in the moment it just came out. And the other time or times that he has done this, significant entity interference. But I do see that it's his own like thought pattern, belief system, stress patterns that have brought him to allow a lot of entity interference in just his day-to-day life. So much of the shots that are called by him, seemingly by him, are not even him. It's entity interference. And I would say at this point, it feels like very extreme entity interference, not just, maybe they're, trickster energies coming in. This feels like he is just almost just completely stepped aside and allowed a lot of this to take place. I even said, I have 256 and 562. What does it mean? Oh, interesting.
Can I pull a card?
Yeah, in a minute. You can look those numbers up. They might have some very significant meanings for you. I even said and even wrote down that I would give him everything. I will not challenge my share in anything, but I just want to go out of this relationship. Yeah. And it's not, again, I'm not giving him a free pass that, he's done nothing. No, he has had his stake in this. But at the same time, it's so much entity interference and just You might even notice when you're in the throes of these types of altercations that his eyes have either glazed over or they look darker than they should. Um, it's like lights are on, but nobody's home. It's not him coming through. It's significant entity interference. Yeah, calling you a cheat, a liar, and whatnot. When he has probably, just knowing you, Amber, that's not true at all. Zero proof of this, but gonna throw that again. It's a power move. It's a manipulation. It's not true. And he knows it's not true. Like, he knows it's not true. The entities, I'm sure, know it's not true. But again, it's a power move. Yeah. Words that can cut, words that can hurt. And the fact that 2 of these 3 cards here are pages, this is such immature behavior. This is not, leader of the household, father and husband energy coming through here. This is very childlike. Yeah, very childlike behavior, and it has to stop. It has to end. And you coming to this, just, I'm done. I'm done. It put him even more into child mode. I'm not saying that was your fault. No. In fact, I'm saying that you got those entities real stirred up here, because I think so much of the just pleasure they get from being in your husband's energy is being able to get reactions out of you. So my best advice here already, Amber, would just be to, literally pull, cut,
Can I
remove.
pick a card?
Yes, you will. Remove any cords that are, between you and your husband, you and any entities attached to your husband. Just removing those cords, clearing the deck, clearing the slates. And I will read, because I don't know if you were here at the time, but the information I actually gave my cousin. This is a very powerful way to clear any outside interference in your aura. Of course, without your husband's permission, you can't clear anything from him. And if he's not going to do that inner work, the more you butt up against him or have altercations with him, it's going to be business as usual on his end. These entities aren't going anywhere, especially when they know they've got such a tasty meal in the fear-based energies coming from this family dynamic that is going on. But what I told my cousin is an effective way is to lay down in the dark with calm music and do a body scan. Use your intuition to see any entities, hooks, attachments, or cords that may be causing the feeling, or in your case, that are causing this major interference in your life. It takes a lot of trust in yourself to do this because it feels a little like make-believe or using your imagination. But trust what comes up and use your energy, the energy of your own true spirit, for clearing and healing anything out of alignment and any cords removed and all that, and even asking for more of your spirit to step in and embody your physical vessel to assist. That can really help as well. That being said, though, a lot of times when you ask more of your true spirit and essence to come in, it will really stir up that entity interference, because they don't like that light the way that they like all the negative and fear-based emotions. So it can really cause, for lack of a better word, an ish storm in your family, in your home. So my best advice, especially when he leaves the home, and yeah, him calling you a black witch and all that, that is him thrusting his own fears onto you, projecting these titles onto you that he feels they're coming from his fears. They're not true. You know that. But just having him say that to you and feeling on your end like he believes that about you can be very hurtful. So, honor any feelings that come up for you about that. I know that there is a bad entity in the home. I have been clearing a lot, but this entity doesn't go. I think it's affecting him for sure. Yeah, and my best advice would be, if you can swing it, Amber, to book the entity clearing session with Roots Restored Wellness and sign up your home. You can also sign up yourself and your daughter, because you have permission for her. You probably don't have permission for him. And in fact, you may even come up against a huge wall because he's already had his mind made up about anything you've got going on. But this being said, if he's unwilling and unable to face this entity interference on his own, it's just going to be more of the same on his end, and him contributing that energy to the husband-wife relationship, the father-daughter relationship, the household relationship. And it's not going to change for the better. And in fact, it might just continue to change for the worse. And you might just be running on empty because you feel like you're just clearing and cutting cords and casting out entities day after day, week after week, month after month. And that's just absolutely exhausting. And the only way to really overcome that for good is to have that divorce and that finalization of the cutting away of the relationship itself. And I do believe that's probably going to be your best bet, unless he has some massive spiritual awakening between now and whenever. That's probably going to be what has to happen for you to feel a sense of peace and power in your own life. Yeah, a cutting of the marriage contract to get your happy home again. Yeah, wow. I mean, this couldn't be any more clear. But as if it wants. Wait. Oh, yeah. Expecting him for sure, as if it wants us to get separated, specifically when I know the family who lived before us got separated. I feel it's, and yeah, yeah. And I think it just kicked it up a whole notch when you moved. This is the moving card, the new home card. It kicked all of these entities, it stirred the pot, let's just put it that way. And, added gasoline to the fire that was already brewing, with what you've had going on before. It just really, it did what it did. But I think I'm really seeing that. Let's just see if you did book that entity clearing for the home, just booking the home itself of any entities, because usually if you're sitting in the home, you and your daughter and your husband are sitting in the home while Raylene is doing your session. And I know it's quantum healing, so whatever you're doing, whenever, yes, Wrigley's going to pick the card of if Raylene's session, entity clearing session for the home. Oh, yeah, there's a big yes. Yep, she's going to cut it out. But we're going to see any other information about taking the session, what it will do for the home. Go ahead and pick any card here. Okay, you picked a card. Yeah. Yeah, she's going to go up against it. There's a battle here. I want you to pick a clarifier. Anytime I get the Two of Swords, I always pick a clarifier, because there's two ways this can go. Wow, Page of Wands. Yeah, this is victory. This feels victorious, but it's like he's walking in a new direction. And pages, aces, they're always a yes for me. So this is going to benefit. He feels like picking another one, so we're going to grab it. Yeah. This is literally being the king of your castle and, energetically speaking, queen of your castle. Charging out anything, casting out anything that just doesn't belong. And what I do feel two entities. Oh, getting the Two of Swords a lot. Yeah, this feels relevant. I do feel two very significant energies that are in the home. To me, it feels like you always hear about an ancient or an old Indian burial ground, or a Native American. They used to call them Indian burial grounds based on the fact that Columbus thought this was India. You know what I'm saying? Native American burial grounds. It does feel like there was a sacred ground, much how they have done to the energy of Lahaina, because I know you've kept up with a lot of what Raylene has talked about in the Lahaina area. The building, the tourism. I feel like I got major chills now. This whole subdivision that you're in was built on something that was once a very sacred ground for Native American presence. I got chills, big chills. And it wasn't just one, it wasn't just one Native American energy that was disgruntled or upset that this has been built here. It's many. But I love this. Thank you, Wrigley. You're helping. Yes, there's a lot of pain and heartbreak and everything, but there can be some mending here. And again, this to me feels like having Raylene do the session and then just you doing intuitively whatever you can do. I don't see that these Native American energies and presences, I don't see that they're wanting to cause any kind of physical harm, but it's like if you can talk to them and let them know that your intention in this area is good and it's not to harm anyone or hurt anyone or to take anything from anyone, that could also benefit. But I also see a very dark energy that I feel just amplified this whole thing based on all the trauma that probably happened on this land long before this subdivision and everything was built. There was a traumatic event, possibly some sort of battle during a war that may or may not even be in our history books. I don't know, but it feels very significant, a lot of bloodshed, that it basically created its own portal of dark energy in this whole area. This feels like a 12-mile radius from around where you're at. And we did the Vastu ritual in which I asked for the cleansing of the home. I saw it. Wow. Yeah. But this is able to move forward here. So this is good news right here, is to be able to book that session. And she does put that session available very often. I would say at least once a month, if not every 3 weeks or so. If I remember correctly, I do see that entity session come up. So check that out, and I think it's going to be well worth you getting that session. But if you just don't want to wait for that, you can always see if there's any kind of pod about relationships. I know she has that relationship. I don't know if it's called relationship dynamic. I know that's her one of her sessions. But as far as the pod, it might just be like helping a relationship. I think that energetically, though, that feels like maybe trying to put a band-aid on a gunshot wound as far as the energy involved and at play here. Those are the ones we drew. But let's get one more for Amber. And I know we're taking a little longer. Hopefully Mona can hear us. Mona, are you there? But I think Amber just needed this. Yeah, look at this. I said King of your castle when the King of Pentacles came out. We always Queen of your castle. And if we're being really honest, when we come to the King and Queen of Pentacles, the Queen's the one in charge here. Let's just put it that way. Even though at times, and physically and literally and mentally, Amber, you may feel like I have no power. I'm not in charge at all. But the underlying energy of your true spirit coming through, you absolutely have more power here than, I'm not saying like, oh, you have power over him, but it's just you have more power in this whole situation than you're giving yourself credit for. So just again, asking your true spirit to come in to your body and embody your physical vessel even more than it has, especially when you're feeling you need that extra bit of protection or help. It's really going to benefit you and help keep these entities from bumping up against your energy, even if they're still in the home or still attached to your husband. Though if you do sleep in the same bed as your husband, sometimes that can aggravate nightmares or just maybe not allow you to get that restful sleep that you're looking for. So if it is possible, having your own space to sleep would greatly benefit you compared to sleeping right next. It's like, sleeping right next to that, entity all night long, trying to get, trust that you're being taken care of and you're going to have, safe dreams and safe space while sleeping next to an entity's very hard energy. Yeah, I'm driving but listening, so I can't text. No worries. But I hope that at least gave you a starting point. Clearing that little exercise that I had read from my text from my cousin or to my cousin, and then booking the entity clearing session with Raylene, I think you can find that you're really having some help or at least some alleviation of this energy in the near future for yourself. Yeah, not sleeping. Okay, that's good to hear because energetically, not even just side by side in the same bed, but coming together in the way that married people do to exchange energy. If you were still doing a lot of that from time to time and he's got all these attachments, it's just going to keep muddying your energy over and over and over again. So hopefully this gives you enough of a starting point to feel like you have some power here and can take some action and bring, take your power back and take some action in your own hands. So you feel like you are actually creating a home and a life that you want, not feeling like you're walking on eggshells or in reaction mode all the time, because that's not healthy for anybody, especially long term. It's just so difficult. And then you have, pick that up. And then if you have kids in the mix of that, that's just it's so hard. All right. Well, big hugs to you, Amber. I hope that this helped even a little bit, because it's just so hard, so much that you're dealing with, and my heart really goes out to you because it's not fair for anyone to have to live this way or to keep day after day experiencing this. It's just not fair, and it's not even fair to your husband, and he just doesn't realize it's not him. Hi, Kashfi. It's not him that's creating all this. I mean, yes, in some way he's putting his energy into it, but it's not fair to any of you at all. So big hugs. Texting on mommy's behalf. Aw, so sweet. Well, big hugs. You guys can do so much to protect yourselves energetically. Kashfi, specifically for you as well, here's something you can do is to just, when you're feeling stressed out or sad or worried about anything, just imagine this big bubble of your own spiritual light surrounding you and protecting you. And then all that bad, yucky energy can't get through that, okay? So that's something you can do. And you can even do that right before you go to sleep at night to protect yourself if you're having any kind of bad dreams or anything. That's something you can do to protect yourself. All right. Big hugs to both of you. Give her a big hug. Big hug. Rue's like, no. He's hugging you in spirit. All right, everybody. Mona. I think she is probably in the thick of a phone call or work or something, but we will. I'm going to leave a comment for Mona. Mona, aka Rosie __ YouTube. I'm going to let her know that we are going to hold her over. Hold over for Wednesday. What's the date? Wednesday. Let's see. Calendar mode. Yeah, mommy tells you the same. Yeah, your mommy's very smart. She knows how to protect you in a lot of ways. So listen to her about that. She knows what she's doing there. Oh, so it'll be November 15th. Okay, so for Wednesday, November 15th's live stream, we will start with Mona.
Wait.
Or let me just leave a message for.
Wait, 4 days before my birthday?
Yeah. Mona, if you see this message, please email me. Email me at done photo design. So email me your question, at amanda@donephotodesign.com, and I will answer it on the live stream on Wednesday, November 15th. Thank you, Mona. Thank you. Okay, and I will probably still leave that same comment for her in the comment section because she went MIA, which, again, I understand. She was working and probably got pulled away, and it happens. So just anyone, in the future, if you are kind of wondering, oh, Kashvi says hi.
Hi.
She's like the same age as you. Did you know that? He's quiet again. He's the strong silent type. Anyway, if you do make a donation and you're kind of at work or you're unsure if you'll be here during the time when we get to your reading, you can always either leave your question in the chat and I can always go find it, or leave it as a comment on your PayPal donation, or email me. Those are 3 ways you can leave your question and know that it's going to get answered. And yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and write these little timestamps, and I will see you guys Wednesday, November 15th next time, and we'll probably do another collective reading. Yeah. So that's going to be it for me. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed weekend. Do something that brings you joy, brings you happiness, and I'll see you then. So thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. All right, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.